Hey everyone, welcome back to another camera channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Tree Frog RGB pocket light from DigitalFoto. First things first, I gotta tell you that DigitalFoto did send me this product to review, and I do get to keep it afterwards in exchange for making this video, but all thoughts are my own, as you'll find out by watching. So let's get into it. So this is the light here. As you can see, it's kind of big, which is good. You know, some of these lights can be too small, and that obviously affects the light quality. So I'm actually very impressed that it's such a large light. As you can see, it's about the same size as my iPhone XS Max, but it's about double the width. And it's marketed as a pocket light, and that's true in this configuration. Later on, it does get a bit bigger when you start putting things in front of it, so you can't really fit that in your pocket. But this, like this, is actually pocket size. Unlike some other products with pocket in their name, which you definitely cannot fit in your pocket. I've purchased some products from DigitalFoto in the past, including the Miko Live Blimp, which you can click up here and watch the review video of that. I loved it so much. I've actually got two now on boom poles from Newer, so I have a complete interview setup. So aside from being a light, this actually has a few party tricks. Number one being it's a power bank. It's a 4400 milliamp hour battery power bank. It has a USB-C out, 5 volt, 2.2 amps, and it actually comes with a bunch of cables in the case, which I'll show you in a minute. But it's actually pretty cool that you can use this maybe if in an emergency, if your phone ran out of battery on set or something like that, or you wanted to charge something else. It's nice that you always have an extra power bank handy. The second party trick is the best by far, and is that it is IP67 rated waterproof. IP67 means that it's completely dust-proof, and it can be submerged in water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes, which is actually really cool, especially for the price that it comes in at. I don't think there's any other lights that can do that on the market as of now. This is also helped by this silicone rubber like covering that goes around the edge, which helps cover up the buttons and the exposed USB-C ports. So to prove I'm not lying, let's put it underwater while we look at the carrying case and the rest of the accessories. Okay, that's pretty bright. So it comes with this lovely hard case, which definitely isn't pocket sized at all, but I do appreciate a good case, and this feels really rugged, and it has a lot of stuff inside. So let's open it up here. It's got like a double-sided zip kind of thing going on. So we have the manual here, of course, which has all the information about what the list of attachments, what all the buttons do and stuff like that, and just a few notes about, like weight and power outputs and stuff like that. Okay, so inside what we have a bunch of cables. We have a USB-A to USB-C, which is like for charging. I guess if you have a normal USB charger, you're going to want one of these. So that's nice that it's included in the box. We have a USB-C to USB-A female adapter. So this is for the charging aspect of it, the power bank charging part. So you can plug in any other like iPhone cable or other Android cable if you have one into this, into the power part. And then, I don't know if this comes with everyone's, but mine came with a very short little iPhone lightning pin kind of charging cable. So that's really nice. I'm really happy with that. We also have this lanyard style like wrist strap, which I guess if you're hand holding the light, you would attach it onto there, which, always useful to have. I'll probably never use it though. And this is really nice actually. This is a mini tripod, and it's kind of like got a little carbon fiber little pattern on it. I don't think it's actually made out of carbon fiber at all, but this is really cool because even if you don't use it for this light, you can use it for other lights or other little accessories which take the normal quarter 20 thread there. So that's a really nice little addition. Love having these accessories in the box. And the next thing we have is this little bag, and I don't know why it's in a little bag, but inside here, if I get it out, is a cold tube bullhead mount, which is good to have. You can attach it on top of a camera or something like that and change the angle. What's also really nice is you can remove this cold tube part, like so, and then you can attach the bullhead onto your little tripod here, which is really nice, like that. Really cool. And a really nice little detail on this bullhead, you actually have little degrees etched in there, like markings on the bullhead. So that's really nice. Really cool. I don't know why it's in a little bag though. I mean, I guess it's cool, but the last two accessories in the case are the top here. We have a silicone diffuser with Velcro straps on the back for attaching it to the light, and a honeycomb grid to help control the light spill, which is also very nice. And these go together like this, and because they're silicone and Velcro, they're both waterproof, so you can easily use them underwater like that. So that's what comes in the case. So let's take it out of the water now. It's extremely bright in this mode. This is the party mode. So let's swap it back over to a different mode and let's turn it off and let's get rid of this water. So here we have the light, still wet and it still works. So let's go through the features of the light. So on the light itself, it has a bunch of buttons. We have an on button, we have dim up and down buttons. We have an M button for mode, an FN button for function, up and down selector buttons, and then we have a 5V in and a 5V out. And obviously the 5V in is for when you're charging the light, and the 5V out is when you're using it as a power bank to charge something else. It has 3 Q20 mounting points, 2 on the bottom and 1 on the side. So the Tree Frog has a 2-stage like turn on function. As you can see, if you hold down the on button here, hold it down for a few seconds and it will get the DigitalFoto logo, and then it will come into whatever mode you're in, right? So if I go back to, let's go to a normal, so HSI is probably the normal one it will go beyond. You can see that it says hue at 0, so that's red, and strength is 32%, and saturation is 100, but the light isn't on. So what you do is you press the button once, little short click, and then the light will turn on. And they actually say that if you're changing between the modes and stuff like that, or even changing like the intensities, that it should be better to, turn the light off first and then do it. And I've noticed that by doing that, the battery meter seems to go down a little bit slower. So I don't know if by changing modes, it takes up more battery, but at least the display for me, if you turn it off first and then start changing the settings, it will work. I think it will last longer. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it works. So let's go through HSI mode first. So this is 32%. It's pretty bright. That's at saturation 100 at red. If I put it up to 100% here, I'll just turn it up like this. Okay, it's getting extremely bright now. So that's 91%. So this is at 100%. If I hold it out at arm's length, it's pretty good. This is obviously bare bulb. So if we do have the diffuser on, you will get less output, but it'll be a lot softer. And the reason why you'd want to put on the white diffuser part is because these are all single LED chips. You will get multiple shadows on objects at a certain distance. So it's better to have that diffuser on. It will give a better quality of light. But just for example's sake, that's what it is like. Holding it out like there on 100%. To change the hue and saturation stuff, you got to hit the FN button and it will change between hue or saturation. And then you control it with the up and down selector buttons here. Now this is a problem that I've noticed with this mode, and I have spoken to DigitalFoto about this, and they say it will be fixed for the newer products that come out. So if you do order one, this shouldn't be a problem for you. But just for anyone who has one already, at 65% saturation or lower, the light tends to get very, very green. And even through any saturation range, it's just green. And it tends to stay a very, very bright green, which isn't good. So around 65, maybe 70 plus, if you're in between that range, it does desaturate. But it doesn't desaturate to like a white or anything like that, which is kind of odd. So I did bring that up with them, and they did say that this will be fixed for later versions of this model. What's also very interesting about this light as well is that it's way more saturated than an Aputure MC. If you see this side by side here, this is red, 100% saturation. You can see that the Aputure doesn't even look that red. It looks more orange in comparison compared to the Tree Frog, which is really interesting. These LEDs are super, super saturated. So I don't know about the accuracy of the HSI modes really, like with the hue, if what hue value you select you actually get. But if you're using this underwater for something like that, and you want a really, really saturated like color, then this is great. This is absolutely great for you. Going back to the saturation part, it doesn't seem that it uses any of the white LED chips when it desaturates. I think it only uses the RGB chips, which might explain why it becomes very, very green. So hopefully in their fix, they include a saturation to just a white, a 6500 or something like that, or 5600. That would be really, really good. Bonus points if they could actually make that a selectable function. But that's probably asking too much for the light, but that would be really, really good. So let's move on to the next mode. So if we hit M, it goes to CCT. And again, here we go. We got the white and amber chips here. And so the CCT range goes from 2500 all the way to 8500 Kelvin, which is really cool. And again, same, you got the dimmer to put it up and down. When using the silicon diffuser and the honeycomb grid, this would be really nice, maybe on top of a camera or something like that. If you need some extra light, a little eye light to go on top of the camera, and the size is pretty nice for that. And because there's so many mounting points on this light, it's really good. You can offset it off to a side, so you don't have to have it in the middle if you have different accessories like a microphone or something like that. So there's 3/4-20 mounting points come in real handy for that. In CCT mode, function doesn't do anything. Let's hit M one more time, and that will take us into the scene mode, which let's go through them. We got scene 1, which is cop car. Scene 2, ambulance. Scene 3, fire truck. Scene 4, lightning 1. Scene 5, lightning 2. Scene 6, which is an HSI parade. Scene 7 is the same, but double speed. Scene 8 is TV flicker. Scene 9 is fire or candle. Scene 10 is paparazzi. Scene 11 is strobe light. Scene 12 is traffic headlights. Scene 13 is hazard lights. Scene 14 is red lightning. Scene 15 is green lightning. Scene 16 is blue lightning. Scene 17 is party lights. Scene 18 is party lights double speed. Scene 19 is pulsing. And scene 20 is RGB strobing. So for these effects, it really depends on how you want to use this light. These may be useful for you. I tend not to really use many effects on lights like this, but I do think for the right situation, they could come in handy. Maybe the cop light, you could hide it in the car and have it light up the inside of the car or something like that. So that's kind of cool. I really wish there were more controls. It doesn't seem like any of the buttons do anything apart from select. So if you hit function, it will just cycle through the effects. Same with the up and down. So at least you have a choice, you can go back. But with the dimming buttons, while you can dim, it doesn't give you a value on the screen. So you really have to kind of just guess at what value you're at or set it from what you can see in the camera. So it would be really nice if you could see the amount of dimming or the output percentage on the screen, but it just stays on what the effect is. So also seen is spelled wrong, but I'm sure they can fix that easily. One workaround for that, though, is if you change the mode to a different one, let's say HSI, and then you change the output brightness, let's say 10%, then if you go back to the effects mode, it will be that output percentage. I just really wish it was on the screen at the same time. That would be really good. But maybe this is something that they can update in the future. Pressing M one more time brings us back to HSI mode. One of the criticism, though, about the effects is that with the lightning and stuff like that, it just continuously repeats. So there's no way of triggering the light to do a lightning flash at a certain time. So for example, if you had someone holding light somewhere in place and they had a button to trigger the lightning or something like that, that would be really good. Same with some of the other effects. They just tend to just keep repeating and there's no real waiting time in between it, or there's no way of making it random, which is kind of what you would see on a lot of other brands. Maybe not on something this size though, but you do get a kind of a choice of either speed or a randomness to the effect. So that would be really nice to see. There are enough buttons on here that would make it possible to select through different modes to change those variables like randomness and stuff like that. So that would be a really nice addition to see. The Tree Frog is magnetic, it has a magnetic back, but the magnets inside aren't very strong, so it seems to struggle holding its weight if it's on a vertical surface. I don't know if it's down to just this rubber case kind of creating a gap between the magnets and the surface, but you can always get around this by adding a more powerful magnet on the back and then using that to attach to whatever you're trying to attach to. With the silicone diffuser on, it does give a nice soft light, which is really good, and it is much larger than an Aputure MC, so that's good. And here it is with the Honeycomb grid on. As you can see, it controls where the light is going. Very nice like that. Very, very cool. So what do I think about this light? I think this would be a really good light, definitely for underwater stuff. If you're doing anything with water and you need a very saturated light underwater, either a constant light or maybe like the party effects or something, or maybe the fire, something like that, I think this would be a very excellent light to have. Maybe it'll be very good for on-camera lights too. It has a lot of mounting points and stuff like that. And, you know, you don't normally see a lot of things that come with a Honeycomb grid. So that could be really useful as a hair light or something out of place. That's really good use for this light. It does run for 2 hours, which is really good. And I don't think charging takes that long. Of course, it has the power bank function, which is really super useful. And the fact that it comes with the USB-C to USB-A adapter here is really, really, really good. I wish this had a kind of control or an app which would help work with the effects or to be able to control the thing remotely, because having to change the settings and then put it back, if this was in an awkward position, for example, and you had to then change the settings, it would be kind of annoying to do that. So I wish there was some kind of remote app that would work with this, but unfortunately there isn't. Other than that though, it is a fantastically bright light, which is full RGB. If the problem with the saturation is fixed, then this will be a very, very good light. So that's my thoughts on the Tree Frog from DigitalFoto. I want to thank DigitalFoto for sending me this product to review. And if you're interested in purchasing one, there'll be some links in the description and there'll probably be affiliate links. So if you do buy through that link, they'll be helping me out and it'll be helping the channel out. So appreciate you for clicking on those links. And for more content just like this, please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.